Hey guys, Mr. B here again. So we are going to be doing the virtual mole lab. And in this part of the lab, we are going to be determining how many moles of sugar I consume when I eat this many gummy bears. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take 8 gummy bears and we're going to put them on the scale and we're going to see how many grams of sugar this is. Now granted, there's other things in gummy bears other than sugar, but for the most part, they're primarily made out of sugar. So what you need to do on your lab sheet right now is you need to record the total mass of these 8 gummy bears on the scale. Okay, so I see it says about 25 or 24 grams, either one. And it fluctuates a little bit here because there's some wind, but we'll say 25 grams. Okay, all right, so I'm going to take 3 of these gummy bears and I'm going to eat them because they're delicious. They're my favorite food. All right, so we have removed 3 gummy bears. The scale now says 14 grams. So you need to record this on your sheet. And now your job is to calculate how many grams of sugar and moles of sugar and molecules of sugar did I just eat by eating 3 delicious gummy bears. All right, that's your job. I'll see you in the next part. Hey guys, Mr. B here. So this is part of the virtual mole lab. And in this part of the lab, we are going to be calculating how many moles of wax are burned from this candle. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to put this candle on my fancy little food scale here, and we're going to see what the mass of this candle is before we do any burning. So on your lab handout, this is something you're going to have to write down. Okay, so we'll put it on the scale, and my lovely cameraman over here is going to get a good number and a good shot. So we see that the scale says that this candle, before we do any burning, is about 315 grams. So you need to record that on your lab handout, okay? And then what we're going to do is we are going to burn this candle for 15 minutes. And then after 15 minutes, we're going to weigh it again and see how much wax has been removed in that burning process. And then from there, you're going to do some calculations to figure out how many moles of wax was burned and molecules and atoms of carbon and things like that. All right, so we'll see you in a bit. All right, guys, we are back. It has been 15 minutes. The baby's awake. It's time to measure the candle and see how much wax we lost in this burning process. So we're going to put it on the scale here. We're going to bring the camera on over and see. And it looks like our scale is recording 313 grams. So on your lab handout, you should be recording the mass of the candle after 15 minutes of burning as 313 grams. And then from here, again, it is your job to calculate the number of moles and molecules of wax and all that stuff on the lab handout that it wants you to calculate. So, all right, cool. Well, I'll see you in the next part. Hey guys, Mr. B here. This is part 3 of the virtual mole lab. In this part, we are going to be measuring out 3 different substances. We're going to be measuring out some aspirin tablets, a piece of wood, and a piece of aluminum foil. Your job is going to be to record the masses of each of these items. That's going to be shown on the scale. And then from there, you're going to calculate the molar mass of each material and the number of moles of each material, and then use that information to solve the last problem for part 3. All right, so first off, we're going to take some aspirin tablets. I'm going to put this on the scale first and 0 it. That way our scale is able to pick up these tablets because they're pretty small, and the scale doesn't pick up mass super well. So we have a good chunk of aspirin here, but we're going to have a lot of them just because, again, we need enough for the scale to pick it up. So again, if you want to, you need to record down the mass of the aspirin tablets here shown on the scale. Looks like it says about 7 grams. So on your table for part 3, please record that number. All right, we're going to 0 our scale here. We're going to take a piece of wood. Luckily, I'm redoing my basement right now, so we have lots of spare wood laying around. All right, so we're going to put this on the scale as well. Again, you need to record this number on your data table for part 3. It looks like the scale is reading about 115 or 114 grams. It fluctuates a little bit, but either number should be fine. Okay, so about 114 or 115 grams for the piece of wood. And then the last piece we're going to be dealing with here is a piece of aluminum foil. I've just crumpled up into a ball to make it a little bit more dense for the scale to pick up. So again, we'll put this on the scale. We'll see what the scale says. Looks like we have about 5 grams or so. Okay, so again, you need to record that on your table for part 3. All right, so with the masses of all 3 of those materials, again, you need to calculate the molar mass, how many moles are in each of those samples, and then you need to use that information to solve the last problem for part 3. All right, guys, that is it for this lab. And as always, if you have questions, you can email me, and I have no problem helping you. All right, see you later.